Look at that. Seems we're live again. This is part two. Part one ended abruptly when my Sony Vegas decided to crash. I'm going to kind of give everybody a second to stream back in here as there are currently 0 people watching. So I will give you all a second to slither back in before I dive into editing again. So stand by for 2 minutes. All right, I have at least one person watching, so that's fantastic. All right, that one person is Dave Scott, who is live chatting. Hey, I think I know you. I think I know you too. All right, so while we wait for other people to join back in, I'm going to go ahead and just recap what we've already done in this project. So far, it helps if I bring everything back in. Turn my media back on. Okay, so far we did some basic mines. We chroma keyed them, we glowed them, we colored them, and then we did some comets, which look pretty good. I was really happy with these comets. And I'm going to add to these comets with some new ones. Those ones right there. And then I'm going to duplicate them. Because remember, we put our effects on the track, not on the media. So when I duplicate my comets and I bring new ones back in, we are going to adapt the settings that we did on the originals. So now these new comments I just added to the middle pull in the settings that we just made on the other ones. I'm just going to change the color on it. Since I reset my PC, I lost my buttons. Let me add those back in. Many of you guys using Vegas 15 yet? What is that? I did not ask for that. There we go. Vegas 15 is pretty janky. I'm not a fan. I was using 13 the longest time, and then I changed my PC, and now I got the crack for 15. It's a damn time. All right, so the last ones I did were purple, so purple and green go pretty well. So we'll do purple and green. What I noticed looked really good. Doubling the tails, they look really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and double the tails. It looks super crunchy. They look good. Okay. And I'm just going to, let me see, these I'm going to bring forward a little bit. It doesn't save the default buttons. Yes, it does not save the default buttons. You're exactly right. It's my pet peeve. Where did my, oh, there we go. Okay, there's my green ones. All right. So we got this going for us. And let's just polish it off with some more mines, and that should be all good. You know what I didn't do? I didn't do any stadium pyro. We'll do that too. I'm trying to fit them in my timeline. All right, make a Monka. I'm going to go back to my mines that we did. I'm going to duplicate some mines, bring them up to the top, delete the originals, have my bridge mines, we go. Green always just glows horrendously. If I change this to like, change it to red, that looks pretty slick. And then I'm gonna add some more mines. Like I said in part one, I don't have a ton of assets because I only rendered exactly what I needed for the original video. Oh, Starburst looked taller in the last part. Oh, yeah, it's because for some reason when I preview in full quality, it makes that weird kind of squished shape out of the starbursts. When you render them, they come out looking how they do in auto, which is squared like this, which I prefer this look. When they come out squished, it doesn't look quite right to me. So that's what we've got. I'll put some more mines in. I'm gonna make these top ones purple. Just playing around with colors here. That looks pretty nice. You know what? They should be blue. They should be blue. You know what? No. We're going to use these ones because they'll cover up really well. And we're going to make them blue. That looks way better. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to crop out these comets. I remember in part one we had an issue, totally unexplained issue with comets, where if you don't block out some of the top area with your crop, you're going to get a big flash that doesn't look good. So remember to crop those out when you're doing comets. And this is probably, I'm just going to do one last little blast on the mines. Getting pretty close to wrapping up. I'm going to try and wrap up by 10:30, so everyone can be in bed on time. I'll put one more mine in here. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to do something that I don't have a name for, but every now and then I'll kind of finish a display with a mine that's just white stars, white tails. So I'll just isolate this for a sec. Looks good. And then stick some glow on it. Some basic glow. And then I'll put some atmospheric glow on it. Yeah, that'll do. And then I'll just stick a little bit of kind of gold, red gold on that to give it a little smack of realism. Yeah, that looks sweet. There we go. I'm happy with that. You know what I'm going to do? Because I suck. take these. And we're gonna do what I said I would never do. We're gonna double up. Stick some green ones. Green or pink? I haven't done any pink. I'm gonna double up on the same mines here. So I'm trying to fill as much space as possible and just make this like super random display for you guys. That'll do. I'm going to take these ones in the background. And that was here. I'm going to bring these to here. Okay. And right at the end, finish with this. There we go. That's pretty okay. So before we wrap up, Seb Roblox says ass. And somehow I cannot help but to agree with you, Mr. Seb Roblox, who says ass. That's a great comment. Where was I? I'm gonna let me crash my Vegas again, Seb Roblox. I'll crash my Vegas just to spite you. So before we wrap up, I'm just gonna go ahead and do some. I'll do some on the rim of the stadium, and then also do some shells in the sky too. I have about 15 minutes in which to do that. So, wish me luck. The rim fireworks should start right about here. I'm going to drag my marker over. We're going to do something very similar to what we've already done. And we'll start with the Comets, because they are absolutely miserable to do, and I just want to get them over with. At this point, I'm not as much tutorialing as I am just live making something. So thanks for sticking along with me. These will be fine. At what point am I doing these at the same time as the Comets? Okay, that's good. Key out the gonna work with me? There we go. That looks okay. All right. Can I just... Ooh, look at that. If I bring the low threshold up high enough, I can get rid of those trails. Do I want to make a shortcut, or do I want to do it right? I'm going to do it right. It's not going to work if I do it right. Okay, taking a shortcut. I'm going to glow them up. I'm going to make these big, so I'm going to do high intensity and bring up the percent. And there we go. We've got some good looking comets already. By the way, if you're watching this and you haven't watched part one, you're probably very lost, because at this point I've already explained everything that I'm doing right now. So I highly recommend backtracking to watch part one if you haven't yet and this is confusing to you. All right, and now I'm going to do my atmospheric glow like I did earlier. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put starburst on these. I'm going to go back and do that in a sec. It's too much. All right, that'll do. Before I color them, I'm going to put the Starburst on because this can either make it or break it. I may have to do that glow again. That looks fine. That looks good. Okay, now I'm going to stick some color on it. We'll do a nice burning orange. Look at that. I'm happy with that. That looks good. And just like we did before, we're going to stick a tail on them. So I duplicate my track. I isolate the second one I just made, my duplicate. I remove the effects I just applied. I'm going to reset the chroma key here. And I may just be able to blur these. There we go, that looks fine. And then I bring the tail slightly down because that's quite bright. That should be just fine. Okay, happy with those. I'm going to have something else go up at the exact same time. It's going to use, let me check these real quick. Yeah, I'm going to use these ones. And these are a totally different style of comet again. So I'm going to, these ones, I'm not going to do a head and tail on these ones. I'm just going to do them all as one comet. Kind of like a white glowing one. That'll do. Stick some glow on it. See, once you get the hang of this, you can just do what I'm doing and just steamroll right on through. Let me see. That's fine. A little bit more glow. That looks good to me. A little bit of atmospheric glow, and we'll call these ones good. Splash of color. That'll do quite nicely. Let's stick these behind. Great. So at this point, let's see where we're at with everything included. We go through these. Okay, so we're almost at the end. My marker number 3 is the end. Let's just round it off with something easy. I've got some stepper comets over here, which should work quite well. Stick those in around about here. You'll notice I'm using the exact same parts I used in my last video because they're right here and really easy to use because they're all pretty standard. I'm hoping that no one's actually going to watch this so I can give away my secret. My last video with the WrestleMania 29 firework display, it's an exact replica of the closing firework display, except for the big blast at the end and the shells in the sky. So go ahead and watch that, and you'll see what I mean. Because I cheat. I'm a filthy, filthy cheat. Dave asks, do I ever touch high threshold? Yes, in one specific circumstance. If I'm using a stage image that has some green in it, and I'm green screening, but it's removing some green that wasn't part of the actual screens on stage, I will, in that case, use the low threshold because it will get rid of the keying on those alternate green tones. Dave, you're always upset. Those look good. Stick some color on them. I'm happy with those. Finishing up here. Last couple of bits, and then we'll finish off with the shells in the sky. That's not what I wanted. Or is it? No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Just like we did in part one. If you didn't watch part one, you must be sad, but you can go back and watch it. I'm going to key out the background, take out crunchy bits, boost up the greens so I can take them out. So I'm going to crank up my saturation, crank up my luminance, go back to chroma key. I'm going to take out this green, left with some perfect white shells, which I will stick some glow on. A little bit more atmospheric glow. One more. I did not put nearly enough glow on these in the actual version of this that I made for uploading, so I'm going to compensate for that. That's good. That looks nice. I'm happy with that. That's some nice red. Nabil asks, do I know how to add water to a fireworks simulator show? I don't think you can do that. If I was gonna make a guess, make a suggestion for you, I'd maybe try doing like I know in the fireworks community they call it a gerb or a gerb. I don't know how it's pronounced, but I think in Fireworks Simulator they call it they call it a Roman candle, or there's a specific name they have, and you can kind of make like a waterfall with it. Is that maybe what you're asking? Like, how do you make waterfalls? Pretty sure you'd be able to do that. You just need to make a specific type of mine in Fireworks Simulator. If you want to drop me a comment on this video after it finishes, how can you edit it in though? Yeah, that's a pretty broad question. If you want to shoot me a private message or a comment, I'll be happy to kind of try and figure out exactly what it is you're trying to achieve. But absolutely, good question. All right, I've got the red one. I'm going to do pretty much the exact same thing, but in reverse and in blue. I think we're pretty much done. Delete, 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 delete. Blue. I like that. And then we're going to blast purple at the end. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't just... This is going to be, in some ways, way worse, but in other ways, way better than the original. So you are all along for the ride, all three of you. Yeah. Four of you. There's four of you now. Fantastic. Santa Claus listens, kids. This last one's going to be... purple. And I'm also just going to do another... I'll duplicate this out. That's not nearly red enough. It is now. And then the final piece, which is going to go at the very end, are the shells in the sky, which are somewhere. There we go, they're right here. Edit these in. Okay, this should end. I'm trying to find the right endpoint here. I mean, basically, I'm not going to fiddle with this. When it's done, I'm just going to render this and upload it. So, all right, so this is the end. Nabil, I'm not gonna give my personal email out on a live stream. Just drop me a comment on one of my static videos, and I will be able to look at a link on that. So just send me a link in a comment. It will, if you include a link, it will go into spam. But I read my spam, so just send me a link in a comment, and I'll take a look and see if I can help. I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't want to get like the Prince of Cambodia trying to sell me something in my email. So I hope you understand. Did I give you these shells, Dave? If I did, I shouldn't have. Cheeky man. All right, he's looking good. This is the second to last effect. The last effect is going to be some palms. They were blue in the original, so now they have to not be blue. Okay, purple. Why not purple? Purple's fine. Yeah, and the final effect is, oh, that looks good. Yeah, I'm keeping that double. There we go. And the final effect, which should go underneath these, is my palms in the sky. We find the right place for them. Right there is good. I am British. I was born in Chester, which is on the border of England and North Wales in the northwest. What part of England are you from? Or Britain, I should say. And to anybody watching this after it goes live, I'm not talking to myself. I somehow have people who are interested enough to leave me kind comments on my live stream, so I'm talking to them. Or maybe I'm not. Keeps things interesting. All right, last effect. I'm gonna cover this thing in glow, and we'll call it a night. I will render this overnight or over the next hour or so, and have it up online for you guys to critique, because I usually spend like 2 weeks making a video, and we did this in like an hour and a half, so it's not going to be anywhere near as good as what I would normally make, but I thought this was a really good exercise in getting to offer a behind the scenes glimpse into what I do when I decide I have nothing else to do, which is this. Stick some color on it. Love you too, Dave. All right, quick preview with everything turned on. Oh, this is gonna look nice. It's not gonna look like my best work, but it's gonna look pretty nice. Ooh, I see a violation. This needs to go on top of that. Look at that. Okay, fixed. All right, we're all done. Thanks for the between 4 and 10 of you who watched live. I really appreciate it. There's no chance in heck I'm going to watch these back ever again. So I hope somebody else will, other than the 4 through 10 of you who watched it live. How is it that you have almost 8,000 subscribers, and when I go live in prime time, no one watches? I feel like Vince McMahon. You guys have a good one. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to rendering this and putting it online for you. Have a good night.